Section team, what we want to do now is we want to run you through the basic progressions to get to a handstand. Now there's so many different ways to get to a handstand, but what we're showing you here is the techniques and skills which we've actually used to get ourselves to 30-second freestanding handstand. So what we're going to do is we're going to run you through how we'd like you to progress through our progressions. We've got a number of wrist warm-up activities for you there in the training document. We've also got a section there on scapular strength. We really believe that scapular strength is an area that we missed early on in our handstand training, and if we want to get to a freestanding handstand, it's really important that we practice that scapular strength. From there, we're going to get Ben to demonstrate how we kick up into a wall handstand. So this is all documented in your training document there. So Ben's going to kick up 1 foot at a time, gracefully, pointing the toes. And what we want to look to do is get to a position where we can come out off the wall with the heels. And the way that we actually do that is not using our feet, we use our wrists, and it's called playing the piano. So guys like Carl Paoli always talk about it, and it's a gymnastics term, where you're actually using your fingertips, so you've spread your hand and you're wide fingered, and you really just want to use that and create leverage at the top of your body to come off the wall. We're aiming for 10 to 15, 20-second holds to start off with. So once you get comfortable doing that, we want to move on to the next progression, which is called walking up the wall backwards. So what Ben's going to do now is he's actually going to turn around and face away from the wall, and he's going to come right up into the wall, keeping his legs together. That's it, walking right up in the wall, legs together, toes pointed, and he's going to come back and walk down. And so what he's moving on to there is the next progression, which is called a nose to wall hold. So you want to look, once you're comfortable with that, legs together, and we're going to go straight into a nose to wall hold. And what we want to get to is actually being able to hold this position for at least a minute, and playing with the coming out off the wall again, just like we did with the kick to wall handstand. Again, the way we're going to do that is by playing the piano, spreading our fingers wide, and creating that leverage, keeping the hips tight. So this drill is amazing for teaching us good line with our handstand. It's really good for spatial awareness. So the next drill we're going to do is we're actually going to show you, once you get really comfortable on the wall. So we'd like you to spend, if you're new to handstands, at least a couple of months working purely on the wall. An area that we see people failing in handstands is they don't spend time on the wall. The Chinese gymnastics team still spends half an hour or up to an hour a week nose to wall in their handstand position. Like, it's a very valuable progression. So guys, when we get comfortable working off the wall with our handstands, both facing and away from the wall, we want to come out off the wall and start working with partner-assisted handstands. So this is where you grab a friend, grab someone in the park, and work on your handstands together. One thing that we really want to get clear is that the onus of responsibility here is on the spotter. So I'm the spotter in this exercise. It's my responsibility for Ben not to fall. We can't have our people falling while they're doing handstands because it creates fear around the movement. So what Ben's going to do is he's going to get his hands lined up, which is block 1. Block 2 is the shoulders, so we're going to line up block 1 and block 2 so the shoulders are directly over the hands. From there, I'm going to step in, one arm's going to come up, and he's going to align the third block, which is the hips. And then I'm just going to gently spot him using both my arms and get him to a position where he's actually able to feel what it feels like being a freestanding handstand. And you can see now Ben's got a really good line here, his toes are pointed. And what he wants to do is just play that piano with the wide fingers and just keep practicing that position of balance. And what will actually happen is, at the start, you might have to be really spotting someone, like very heavily spotting like this, and then they're going to get to a situation where they can actually feel the freestanding handstand. So this is called a straddle handstand. It's a progression to working towards a freestanding handstand. What's actually happening here is Ben's center of gravity is lower because he's in that straddle position, so it makes it a little bit easier to gain our balance. We want to work on this movement, get really comfortable in the straddle position to then be able to progress to the full freestanding handstand. So now we want to kick into a full freestanding handstand, lining up those blocks, and from here we want to keep the line really nice and straight, pointing the toes. And we just want to work on maximising this time under tension, pushing up through the arms, a really nice line, and holding that. Remember to keep breathing. And what we want to do is just work really intensely on this. So do 5-minute blocks twice a day, and just keep trying to hold for up to 30 seconds at a time. Work.